Hey everybody, this is Bobby Shaw, aka Big B, bringing you episode 3. Yes, episode 3 of the Big B Mortgage Podcast. For this podcast, I sat down with a very good friend of mine and just an adamant business professional, Mrs. Deldi Ortegon, out of McAllen, Texas. Deldi is a very seasoned real estate agent and team lead for the Deldi Ortegon Team down in Keller Williams for McAllen, Texas. And we sat down and we had a great conversation. Obviously, you're going to get to hear her story, which is, something I love to do. I love hearing people's stories because it always interests me how people find their way into the industry, whether it's real estate, title, insurance, mortgage, whatever the case may be. There's always a great story behind it. And so we're going to learn more about her story, her past, some triumphs, some trials, some successes, some failures, and what she's doing now to kind of help build her team and to keep them inside of the culture that she loves so much. One of the things you're going to notice about Deldi is, when it comes to humility, this lady is just a beautiful individual regarding that. She definitely subscribes to the concept of us and we, not I and me, as it relates to that success. She knows it takes a village in order to be able to do some of the things that they're doing right now. And that's why I definitely wanted to sit down with her and spend a few minutes just learning more about her, what makes her tick. And hopefully, you guys will find something good out of it, get a nugget or what have you. So with that being said, I'm going to shut up and we're going to get to the podcast. So as always, thank you for taking time out of your day to listen and enjoy episode 3 of the Big B Mortgage Podcast. See ya. Hey everybody, it's your boy Bobby Shaw, aka Big B. Here's another episode of the Big B Mortgage Podcast, and today I have a very, very special guest. Her name is Deldi Ortegon.
You got it, Deldi Ortegon.
Oh, there it is.
With the Deldi Ortegon Real Estate Group here at Keller Williams Realty.
That's right, the big KW
McAllen,
down in
Texas.
McAllen, Texas. So how you doing today, hon?
I'm doing great, thank you.
Yeah? Did you have a good year?
We have not just had a good year, we have had an amazing year. One of our best years ever. We have... as far as transaction-wise, we're getting ready to close 160 units. So we've served over 160 families this year, and we will be hitting over $25 million in sales.
That is amazing.
Yep.
My goodness, congratulations.
I didn't do it alone.
No,
so we have,
you have a phenomenal team.
Yes, we have an amazing team who we're very specialized. So we specialize in selling and listings really more than anything. So we consider ourselves a listing team and helping sellers, and we happen to help buyers along the way.
Wow.
Find the perfect home.
Nice. So tell me a little bit about your story. I mean, how long you been in real estate?
So I kind of stopped counting after 15 years. So I want to say I'm going on 20 years. I launched my real estate career back in 1994. Back in my 20s, and I did that for about 4 years.
Okay.
I got pregnant with twins, and I left the industry and said I would never, ever, ever in my entire life do real estate ever again. Let my license go, went back to corporate America, and then back, I want to say about 2001, 2002, I jumped back into the real estate business, and here I am.
Wow. So wait, you got back into it when? In 02?
02, I believe.
So you only had like a couple of the heyday years before the market crashed, right? Or
yeah, we had those wild and crazy where everybody was getting approved 100% financing.
That's it. Everybody's walking around like gunslingers.
Oh, yeah.
Like, pew, pew, pew.
Yep.
Nice. Okay. So how long have you been with Keller Williams?
I am going on about 9 to 10 years with KW. So back in 2007, 2008, I believe is when I joined KW.
Wow. And what was it about KW that drew you to KW?
Wow, that's a great question. One of the things that I love most about Keller Williams, it wasn't about the money, and I think when anyone makes a move in real estate, the first thing they think about is how much money am I going to make?
Sure.
How much is it going to cost me? What is it going to look like? What are the splits? But what drew me to KW really was their belief system. and what they believed in, and really their values, which was putting God, family, and business in that order. And they really, really stood by that. And that was the one thing that drew me. It wasn't about the money. It was that they put God before anything. And when I joined KW, there was about 30,000 agents. Today, we have over 160,000 agents. Wow. And I've seen the growth, and they still have the same values.
So, and you bring up an interesting point with that, because I get asked that a lot. We're nowhere near the size of KW, right, as a mortgage company. I mean, we've got about 4,500 employees. But I have had people come at me and say, hey, how do you keep the culture when you get so big? And I know, like, our CEO, Casey Crawford, says it actually gets easier, the bigger you get, to keep the culture intact, because you've got more and more people joining your team who align with that culture. Is that what you see even down here in McAllen, Texas?
I mean, as a team, I mean, just looking back, I've had a team now for about 5 years, maybe, is when I launched my team. I've made a lot of mistakes along the way.
Did you fail forward?
I failed forward every single time, and we continue to. So
I think I failed forward right now when I let you order that shot for me at the juice bar.
The Love Hornet.
Oh my gosh. Woo.
Yeah.
It was awesome, though. I gotta get. What was the name of that juice place?
It is the Juice Bar here in McAllen.
The Juice Bar in McAllen. Big shout out to the Juice Bar in McAllen, Texas, man. If you're in the area and you want something healthy and something that's gonna knock you on your butt, go to the Juice Bar and order the Love Hornet.
Yeah,
Energizer. That's what it did. Sorry, didn't mean to get off topic. So going back to it, what as Keller Williams as a whole, right? You've been with KW a long time. You watched them grow. I mean, we know they're one of the biggest, if not the biggest, right? They're the biggest?
Yes.
Okay.
As far as agent-wise.
Does it still feel like a community company, or does it just feel like, holy cow, it's just so big, corporate America?
Honestly, one of the things that I love most about Keller Williams, so our annual event is called Family Reunion, and I can remember at the very beginning, I was invited to an event.
Right.
It was in Vegas. It was Family Reunion before I joined, and I thought, what the heck? Why do they call this Family Reunion? Well, fast forward 9 years later, I can honestly tell you that we are one big, happy family.
See, that's awesome.
I have friends all over the country, all over the world that I know by first name, that I can pick up the phone, that will share anything with me. And I think that's one of the biggest differences. And I always say, one of the things that I love most about Keller Williams is obviously it's a franchise.
Sure.
And everybody is independently owned and operated. But I could go anywhere in the country. I could go anywhere in the world, for that matter, because we're worldwide now in multiple countries. And I could walk in and say, I'm a Keller Williams agent, and they're going to open their arms and say, welcome.
Wow.
Come in. You're part of our family. And you can't do that with any other franchise.
Right.
And that, I've always said, is the biggest difference. That's the same culture that I would like. And what we're doing here is we're a family. We all have our goals, and we're helping each other meet that goal for each individual family, each individual agent. So that's our goal.
So you
carry that through.
You mentioned, culture, kind of their system of beliefs is what brought you there, right? 10 years ago. And obviously, as I've learned more about you and gotten to know you better, I mean, I see the powerhouse that you are, and we're just so excited to be able to serve you and your team. But
and Bobby, I don't do this alone, and that was the one thing. I think it's when we changed from I to we
and us
now.
Yeah.
Is really the power of us all coming together. No one succeeds alone, and I have not done this by myself.
Right.
One of the things we really, really started doing the past several years, the Lord's been doing an amazing thing in our business, and He's been bringing in all the right people, and we've really tried to keep that culture. And I don't want to say tried. We're really focused on making sure, one, that our values line up with the agents, that we're allowing an opportunity into our business and our team. Okay. And that is one of the things that I'm going to say has really made a huge difference for us this past year.
So tell me about how you live your culture as your team. I mean, I know some of the things that we've kind of done together, with the employee or customer appreciation and stuff like that. But Like, tell me, like, what are some of the things that you and your team like to do to get back to the community?
As far as giving back to the community, I mean, we're always looking at ways. I mean, our business, one of the most amazing things about real estate is, one, we're dealing with one of the biggest investments in people's lives and their families. We specialize in residential real estate, so that we're allowed into their family. So we get to see how God works in every single bit of it. Even though we have systems, tools, models, we have so many things that we do on the back end that people don't see what we do on the back end. At the end of the day, we don't truly have control of who, when, how. We know that the Lord has control of that.
Right.
And we get to say, hey, no matter what we do, we may be one of the top teams here. We have an average close date of 80 days from contract to close. We have all kinds of systems and action plans that are going to help and make this transaction as smooth as possible for you, whether you're buying or selling. But at the end of the day, no one knows except the Lord. So we get to sit at the closing table and say, wow, didn't I say this was going to be perfect? His timing is always perfect. And sometimes there's bumps in the road. But at the end of the day, we get to give God the glory. So
that is awesome. So take me through a day. Take me through, what is a day in the life of the Deldi Ortegon team?
One of the things that we try to protect is we I don't like the word try, so I shouldn't be saying try, but one of the things that we protect the most is our time. It's the one thing we all have. So we protect our morning time, and we know that, number one, our goal is to be proactive. Our goal is to, one, find people that, one, are looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate, and to help them. So every single morning, we start our day with affirmations, setting our goals, setting our mind. We do that for about 15 minutes. About 9 o'clock, we all sit down with our computers. We put our headsets on, and we start lead generating. Back in the old days, that was prospecting, but we call it lead generating. So we get on the phones, and we start looking for people that we can help. Whether they're sellers that we're looking to help, people we're following up with, whether it's our clients or whether they're buyers that have been on our website or follow up. So our mornings are pretty structured. From 9 to 11, we're making our calls. And when we say making our calls, we're looking for both buyers and sellers that we can proactively help.
Okay.
And then right after 11, we like to do our follow-up from 11 to 12. So we're following up. We know that about 80% of our business is going to come from our follow-up. So follow-up is huge. So we're sitting, making our follow-up calls, and then the afternoons are set for appointments. So we know that if every single morning we come in and we're setting our appointments, we're setting our minds, we're looking for our clients that we can help and setting appointments, the rest of the day is going to fall into place.
Right.
So that's what we do.
See, I think it's awesome though. Like, I mean, one, because let's just be honest, not everybody does it that way. I've met many a really great person who just really doesn't structure their day or have that plan, right? And I know, like, for me especially, and like for the loan originators that work with us, one of the things I always stress is it's the daily disciplines. It's the things you do every day that are going to help dictate what next month, the next quarter, the next year are going to look like for you.
Consistency.
Well, yeah, and some of my most successful people have the most, they'll tell you flat out, like, I am the most vanilla, boring schedule you'll ever see. On Monday, I make 40 calls in the morning. I do this, and then I do this, and then I do this, and they got it literally just down pat, right? So you said you do this every day?
In a perfect world, it's every day.
Right.
I mean, we have life and distractions fall in and things happen. Holidays come around, and
the goal is every day.
The goal is every day. One of the things we want to do is 4 days a week consistently. Friday, I don't want to say is our flex day, but Friday is one of those days that either you have appointments or we have calls, we have training. Training is part of that also.
Right.
In our business, it's really focusing on the 20%. So as real estate agents, now they say that 20% of your activities will bring in 80% of your results. So our 20% as real estate agents is 1, to lead gen, 2, to lead follow-up, 3, to preview and show properties, negotiate and write contracts, and then practice or be in training. And I'm huge on coaching and training. So you'll always
Who do you use?
MAPS Coaching.
Max Coaching? Oh, is that the Keller Williams?
Keller Williams Coaching. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Absolutely. So I have a business coach. I'm in multiple coaching classes. I was on a coaching call this morning at 8 o'clock. So you'll almost always see me 2-3 times a week at least. So
Now,
I meet with my coach once a week.
What about your team? Does your team also have a coach?
Some of our team leaders,
Some of them do?
Yeah, my team leader does, and every single one of our agent is in some sort of coaching. So absolutely.
So
and my goal also is to, while we're coaching, we're
Mm-hmm.
also coaching and training our agents as well. So
That's awesome.
So yeah,
So how often did you say you meet with your coach?
once a week
Once a week?
for 30 minutes.
That is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I totally agree on the coaching thing. I have a coach also, and I am also exploring an additional coach as well. Because if there's one thing I know about myself is I love having the kick in the pants, so to speak. You know what I mean? Just having that someone not necessarily telling me I stink, right? But that just, hey man, you really got to get out there and do this.
Yeah.
That's the only reason this thing got launched, is because I had enough people pushing me to do it.
Yep.
And like when we shot the little video promos, hey, I'll be the first to tell you, I got a face for radio. So for me to sit there and shoot that video, you know, it takes.
You're awesome. What are
It's
you
an
talking
effort
about?
of love, girl. I'm just saying.
I've seen your videos. I
Ah.
follow you.
Yeah, well, I don't want to toot my own horn, but beep,
Yeah.
you know.
Well, there's a big difference between a mentor and a coach. A mentor.
Oh, no, I have that too.
So, I mean, we all have mentors, right?
Right.
But a coach is vested. A coach is going to help you move forward.
Right.
And there's a big difference. I've been an advocate of coaching since back in my Remax days, which was back in 2008, 2006. I always had a coach, so
Yeah.
I'm big on coaching.
Well, I mean, you know, pro athletes have coaches. You know what I mean?
And I'm
That's why
talking a
they're
business
pros.
coach, so
No, but I'm
not
just
a physical
saying.
trainer. I have a trainer. I've had nutritionists. I've had all those others.
No, I'm
as
referring
well.
to that business
But yeah,
coach
so
aspect
just the
of
business
it, though.
coach. So.
Yeah, it's super important.
So
And
again-
actually, one of the podcasts I did was with my business coach.
Awesome.
Because we did a personal branding seminar here not too long ago, and he not only does those seminars, but he's the guy I lean on for coaching. So he's the guy kicking me in the pants.
One of the
I only
things-
get him every other week, though. How are you getting once a week?
We pay the big bucks.
Oh my gosh! Woo! Money well spent.
Yeah,
though.
so there's actually different types of coaching, but I'm vested and invested in coaching.
Yeah.
The thing about Keller Williams is they say, and they'll even say, I mean, we're more of a coaching and technology company
Right.
selling real estate.
Yeah.
So that's the biggest difference I'm going to say about us and others. If it wasn't for Keller Williams, I'm going to definitely say I wouldn't be where I am today, because they've taught me to build a business.
Sure.
I never in my wildest dreams thought, 5 years or even, let's just say 9 years into this, there was a time when I said I never wanted to have a team. But in order for me to grow my business and to grow and to be able to serve the clients that we have, I knew that I had to give others an opportunity.
Right.
And the only way I could do that is by launching a team and growing. And it has not been easy, and it's been uncomfortable. And I'm learning to let go and not be such a control
Isn't it
freak.
hard? Isn't it hard though? Let's just be honest. It's hard to let go, right?
It is.
It is.
It is.
But then when you do, and this is something a good friend of ours I've been working on, getting her to let go a little more, and she's getting to that point where she's doing that now, and I think she's starting to see that it does work, when you entrust and empower, right? But I know even for me, for a while, it was
more
it was
lead.
tough. Yes.
And motivate.
Yes. Be the visionary.
Then manage.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Focus
I
on that
used to
visionary
be,
goal.
Yep. And just finding really the right people for the right positions.
Okay.
And also the right people. Like I said, I think the values is a huge part of it. And one of the things I realized also as I started building my team is, you can teach anyone scripts, you can teach someone how to present, how to write a contract, but the things you can't change are the things that I look for, which
Like
is
what?
the heart,
Okay.
who they are, what they believe. You can't change some of those things. You can't change someone's will to want to learn, change someone's will to be the best that they can be.
Right.
So really, it's all those things that you can't see that I've learned to look for.
Gotcha. So is it kind of like an equal parts ambition and love. Is that how you would describe it, or is it different? Am I missing it?
I guess that's a good way of putting it. So, yeah, I'm just going to say it's
You
more
don't
the
look totally
internal-
convinced on that. You're just like sitting there pondering it.
I'm thinking about it.
Okay.
It's one of those things that it's hard to put your finger on.
Yeah.
But again,
It's kind of one of those things you just kind of know, right? Like you get that gut feeling, like we were talking about when I was downing that crazy juice drink you gave me. And I got a gut feeling out of that, by the way. I'm just saying.
you might get a different feeling about an hour later, but we won't go there.
Well, I'm feeling
Sorry
pretty
about
good,
that.
though. I'm feeling pretty good.
It was an Energizer drink, and
That's what it
you
was.
got something healthy sitting right by your side too.
There it
so
is.
that's good.
Yeah,
Yeah, a shot of wheatgrass and.
Yes, that's right. Those of you who know me and have seen me, can you picture me drinking a drink with wheatgrass? It's actually happening.
Excellent. It's good for you. You
I'm
need
not
to come
complaining.
visit more often.
It's good.
Yep.
I'm probably going to come and get the other one tomorrow. The dragon's breath or whatever you're talking about. He was like,
it can get addicting.
He was like, "Oh, if you think this one's good, try the dragon's breath. It's even more hardcore." And I'm like,
Okay.
"Isn't that what happens when you don't brush in the morning? You get dragon's breath." I'm not really sure. Am I missing that? So, well, I tell you what. Keeping the ball rolling here. I mean, there's so many things. Like, so tell me about your team.
All right. So my team. Let's start with the admin.
Sure.
Our closing coordinator. So Allison Helmer is our closing coordinator. She's been with me now for 9 years.
Right.
First job she ever had. She joined me when she was 18 years old. So she just turned 27, I believe. Basically, our job is we're like a machine.
Right.
So we have buyer specialists, we have listing partners. I have also a team leader that helps me lead the team.
Is that Boone?
That's Boone Tyson, right? Yeah. So I have Boone Tyson as our team leader, and his main job is focusing on new business, sellers mainly, as our listing partner as well. So with sellers, and then the buyer agents actually handle any incoming calls. Even though they're out looking for sellers as well now, since
Sure.
we're considering ourselves a listing team, a team that specializes and focuses on sellers, and but any incoming calls that may come in, inquiries, website leads, sign calls, the buyer specialists handle that. So all they focus with is on our working with buyers.
Got you.
Once they find a buyer ready to negotiate the contract, write the contract, they hand that off to our closing coordinator, which happens to be Allison, and she follows it from the date it goes under escrow all the way to closing. So she handles inspection, she handles every part of it. So most of our clients are gonna, we always say you're gonna start with the agent, and then you're gonna either get to the marketing manager and then eventually get to the closing coordinator. So if you're a seller, it'll go to our marketing manager, and she basically handles all the marketing aspects of it. So we're the hunters, and our job is to go out, find the business, secure the client, get the client under contract, and then it goes to the next step.
Wow. So you've created, your model allows for your salespeople to focus on sales.
Absolutely.
That is awesome. Yeah,
and on their one
they don't have
thing.
to be the one-man band, so to speak, right?
No, and that's the reason why we do the volume that we do. We, average agent, according to the National Association of Realtors, sells anywhere from 10 to 12 homes a year.
Right.
We're going to be hitting our about 160 clients, anywhere between 158 to 160. So this year, so we help 15 times more than the average real estate agent because of the way we work. So
that's
because
awesome.
of the way we work. So it is. It's fun. It's exciting. Not to mention the motivation. Being able to work together, have the family atmosphere. It's hard to work on your own to motivate yourself.
Would you say your model lends
goals.
to
Right now, the team is setting they're planning their calendar. We're setting our goals. We've set our goals. We had our planning advance. So we did that back in November. Everyone knows what their goal is, what their part is in the overall team, and what they need to do.
Gotcha.
So yeah.
I think that's awesome, though. I mean, in the fact that you guys, because every time I see you guys together, you're not even like you work together. You're a family. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and it's kind of, is it hard to create that kind of gel or that kind of ambiance, or I don't know, whatever the correct word would be?
Part of that is making sure you've got the right people on the bus.
There you go.
So again, our values, our team values are faith, family, and fun. And so creating that, making sure that one, we have that faith aspect. And that we all we have, several agents that have different belief systems, but for the most part, we believe in, we have a faith base, and for us, we're Christians, and that's what we believe. But we have a few other agents on our team that, we respect what they believe and, their faith system and,
Sure.
Their denominations. And we all, at the end of the day, work super well together. We also have that family atmosphere where we always come together. We have our team lunches. We have celebration parties. We always have a birthday, that we celebrate. So we like to celebrate the wins, and making sure that we're having, have that family atmosphere. And every single one of my team members knows that we're here for each other, in good times and in bad.
Right.
And, we're always available to be there to help them, when life happens.
Right.
And they can depend on us. So that's the other aspect of it. But at the same time, we have, we're high energy.
Mm-hmm.
We like to have fun. And we like to do that every single day. So if you don't want to have fun and you're not high energy, and you're not gonna fit in here, you're gonna be very, very uncomfortable.
Yes.
And that's okay. And that's
fine.
Okay. That's
Yeah.
okay. So
it's not for everybody,
we
right?
We are not for everyone. No.
But let me ask you this: so, would you say like your team or your model lends to someone who is looking to break into real estate, or are you more of a seasoned team person?
Either way. I mean, a lot of our agents have been new. We've got a couple of agents that are seasoned that have joined us and have come over and joined us as a team. And then we've also have some that have, a majority of our agents have been brand new right out of the chute, and that's been great also.
That's awesome.
So it just depends on what you're looking for.
So then, okay. So let me close with this. I am considering getting into real estate.
Mm-hmm.
What advice would you give to someone looking to break into the real estate market, other than just come work with me?
What advice would I give you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think number one is, we love to serve people. So number one, do you like to serve people?
Okay.
So number two, how big is your database? How many contacts do you have on your phone? Because you're going to have to be comfortable with dealing with people you know.
Right.
And that's the truth of the matter. Real estate is about going out and making a difference in people's lives and helping them find, whether it's investing, buying a home, selling a home, or investing in real estate. But at the end of the day, who are we kidding? We're going to be on the phone most of the time. So you have to be comfortable with, one, knowing your scripts, being on the phone, and then being able to go out and make a difference. So a lot of people come in and say, think that real estate is going to be, we're just going to go out and look at homes and it's going to be fun and I can't wait and I love HGTV. And yeah, that is part of it.
Sure.
But it's the daily grind of putting on your headset, jumping on the phone, following a script a lot of the times, knowing what to say that's going to make the difference, handling the objections, and constantly being learning based.
Gotcha.
Because we are constantly, this business is constantly evolving, constantly changing, and just keeping up with technology, keeping up with the industry, and it's a fast-paced business, but
Wow.
It's very, very rewarding. Not just financially, because most people see the financial aspects, but truly making a difference in people's lives.
Wow. Awesome. All right. Well, hey, thank you again, Deldi. This has been awesome. Did you have fun?
It was good.
Yeah?
It was fun.
See? It wasn't nerve-wracking. All leading up to this, she was just like, what are you going to ask me? Oh, my God, what are you going to ask me? What are you going to ask me? Just tell me what you're going to ask. Give me a script. Give me a script. It's like, dude.
I am not scripted today.
She is not. She is unscripted. Live.
Raw.
Well, not really live, but yeah, live for me. Anyway, Deldi, thank you for taking the time to do this.
Thank you for the opportunity.
All right. Hey, everybody. Hope you enjoyed this, and stay social.
Yeah,
Take
call
care.
me. We're hiring.
There you go. Well, I knew she was.